Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. We have another 200% level 10 links and even rainbow video for you today, and that is around the unit that's kind of set the standard, or the high standard for EZAs, and that is the EZA LR Strength Broly. This guy literally set the ball rolling for EZAs in terms of like how good they can really be. And for a long while, a lot of the top EZAs, or what were considered top tier EZAs, were compared to this guy. And I'm pretty sure this guy doesn't even have many 200% category leads. If so, he only has the one, maybe? Yeah, I think he only has the one. He might have two off the top of my head. I think he only has the one, which is the Pure Saiyan's Exploding Rage from the new Dokkan Fest God Goku. Or he might have two, but I'm pretty sure he has one. But as you can see there, level 10 links, rainbow. As I said, we do have him on the new Dokkan Fest God Goku's 200% lead. I do have him partnered up next to the Tech Broly as well, one of his best linking partners. The only link we do not have active is Berserker. Such a strong link, but just the only units that typically have it, or the good units that typically have it, are Broly units, and unfortunately a lot of them units have aged, including this guy. But you know, let's see how good he is. Rainbow, level 10 links, 200% lead. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. So we are missing an extra attack plus 30%, but pretty super regardless. Literally just shy of 300k attack stat, 112k defense. I can't imagine his defense is going to be anything ridiculous, but still, I will put some respect on his name, because I said at one point he was kind of the standard for EZAs in this game, considering how good he was after he first, you know, initially got his EZA. But 18 key super, 6.5 mil. When did his EZA come out? 2021. So this EZA at this point is literally 2 years old, and that is the beauty of Broly, that guaranteed built-in additional super, which he may not be putting out 9-10 mil on a super on his 18 key, but the fact he has a guaranteed additional no matter what means the combined amount of damage is actually pretty good, considering he's one of, like, he's on the slightly more older side for EZAs. Like 2021's not that old, but at this point his EZA is 2 years old. 2 years old. And unless you're like ridiculously good, unless you're like, you know, top tier, best EZAs in the game, you know, after 2 years, you're typically going to age. And that's just the fact. Like, don't get me wrong, Broly's still a pretty strong EZA. The only thing is, I said, defensively, when it comes to harder content nowadays in Dokkan, Broly's just not on that level. He was never really on that level, but considering he could do so much damage, he kind of had the possibility of doing well in harder content. But considering the direction we've gone so far, like so deep in with Red Zone and how hard those stages hit, Broly just isn't up to that standard defensively, unfortunately. But you know, for a unit that has 50% attack and defense at the start of turn, raises attack and defense by 30% on both 18 and 12 key, and then the extra attack and defense plus 50% on super, it's still solid. It's still solid, given he's 2 years old. We do also have Bardock here with the support, 359k attack stat and 134k defense, pretty super. Do we have Berserk active? We don't. How much HP do we need to have Berserk active? We need 50 or less. That actually means we're not far off getting there, but I really want to see where his attack stat goes up to with Berserk, because that's an extra attack plus 30% at level 10. 7.8 with the support. That's really good. His damage output, as I said, for an EZA that is 2 years old, is still very good. And again, that guaranteed additional, like almost an 8 million attack stat on a 4.5 million 12 key. Especially because we have him Rainbow, there's the potential of crits on either 18 or 12 key. He can still do some very good combined amounts of damage, especially if you can consider the fact, again, he's Rainbowed. He could potentially additional super a third time because we have him Rainbowed. So, you know, as I said, the potential combined damage Broly can do is actually still very good, like it's really good. But in terms of the actual guaranteed amount of damage you can do combined with the guaranteed additional in his passive, it's still really good. He's still really strong. So the only thing that will really let him down nowadays with how harder content has gone, as I said, it's just his defense. 30% on super and what he gets in his passive, even with the guaranteed additional, just isn't enough. Like, it's like a quick estimation. He has just over 100k defense, gets 50% on there. At best, as you know, as an estimation, at best, give or take, if with the guaranteed additional, you're probably looking at like 300k defense tops. So, I mean, with a Whis active in red zone, in a few red zone stages, like Omega and Cellmax, Broly might be okay. Cellmax without an item, he might be okay. With an item active in both Omega and Cellmax, he should be alright. A super would really clock him even with an item. But, as I said, his EZA is 2 years old at this point, so I can kind of forgive it. But don't get me wrong, I'm not even saying this as a meme. He's still a very good World Tournament unit. This guy has been like an MVP, like the GOAT of World Tournament since he's released because of the guaranteed supers, the additionals, all of that, and the AoE guaranteed on the 12 key is what makes him so good. He's also, even being 2 years old, actually still a good ESBR unit. Yes, with his defense being the way it is, he's open to a bit more damage. However, if there's a category where this guy can actually fit in, you're looking at a unit that can hit an 18 key super, do a decent amount of damage, and then guaranteed hit a 12 key, which, considering the amount of damage you can do, especially considering how old he is and the amount of dupes you may have in Broly, he could hit a crit, and again, you could potentially hit a second additional, which is another AoE, which means you're doing big damage to every single enemy in ESBR. And as I said so many times in ESBR nowadays, it's kill or be killed, and Broly's out here killing everyone and doing it quickly. So, while he's not necessarily red zone level, he might just about scrape into it, you know, with items. But while he's not completely red zone level, ESBR is still relevant, harder content nowadays, and Broly's still very good for that. He's susceptible to a lot more damage now because of how hard it does hit and where Broly's defense does lie. But the funny thing about Broly units, they always work really well with just standard Saiyan units. I mean, Broly is the same, but he's an extreme unit. Luckily, we're not in like back in the day, 2016, 2017 Dokkan, where it's super and extreme units. So having him on this team actually isn't bad for him at all. So, I mean, if you was going to do an ESBR run and you could actually fit these guys on two teams, he does have a slot 1 unit next to him. But what link do we lose? We lose Saiyan Lineage, and that is literally about it. So we're not even going to be losing all too much. Is it really just Saiyan Lineage we're losing? Yeah, it is. It's literally just Saiyan Lineage we're using. So, I mean, if they ever decide to release another Broly unit, which I really do hope they do, I would love to see a transforming Broly unit one day. No matter how they do it, I would love to see a transforming Broly unit one day. So maybe when that becomes a thing, maybe he would be ridiculously good, have damage output better than the tech and strength one, be as better defensively as the int one from Saiyan Day 2 years ago, and we can run him next to Birdcue, and it will work really, really well. But as I said, for an EZA that is 2 years old, right, and for a unit that kind of set the bar for top EZAs, his damage output is still pretty good. 6.5, 7 million. Good slot 1 unit, but as I said, that's kind of potential for a future Broly unit. Because they'll have similar links, right? That's potential for a future Broly unit, maybe not necessarily now. And then, you know, as I said, combined amount of damage, pretty good. Because we have dupes in him, could super attack 3 times in 1 turn, 2 of them being AoE, which makes him still very, very useful. Very, very good for ESBR. I said, absolute GOAT for World Tournament if you do grind that. Fair play to you if you do. I do sometimes just for some stones, but not a lot. Fair play to you if you do grind that like hardcore, because that game was dead. But as I said, for his age, not bad. I have to say he's not bad. The only thing that's just really shaky with him with his is just his defense. Like, it's not bad. His defense is not bad considering the unit he is and how old his EZA is. But in terms of today's harder content, yeah, his defense doesn't cut the mustard, unfortunately, for him. I know we are missing out on the attacks effect against all types and guaranteed to hit when facing a Goku's family enemy, which literally only translates to if it's a Goku's family category enemy, can't dodge, anything like that. They're always guaranteed to hit, but we're not really missing out on much. But he's not bad. He's not bad. As I said, the one sad thing is, but this naturally happens to every unit in Dokkan, is because his EZA is 2 years old, he's aged quite a bit, but probably still doing Broly type things, which is loads of super attacks and decent damage with them. So I have to say, given that, he's not bad. He's not bad on the 200% lead, rainbowed level 10 links. Not bad, man. Not bad. I said ESBR, this guy will still do a job. You might have to watch him a little bit. You might have to be careful with him a little bit. But ESBR, you're allowed 4 items. Typically, you've got Icarus's, Whis', you've got Snakes, you've got Aeters. That's a bunch of damage reduction, extra defense for like 2 turns, things like that. You can cover Broly while Broly's doing all the damage to make sure he doesn't take too much damage. So he will still do a fantastic job in there, especially at level 10 links as well, on this 200% lead, especially with Bird Q next to him. Just not quite on that red zone level. The thing is, we're not getting Berserk active because we're not losing enough HP. But if I was to guess, with Berserk active, you're looking at probably like a 7 million attack stat, close to 8 million in support, which is pretty good. But I reckon Broly would be a lot of fun to use. Broly would be a lot of fun to use if you were to take him into like a difficult event with multiple enemies, like minion stage, red zone stages, or as I said, ESBR. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments. As this video just reminds me how much I do want to see you transforming Broly. So fingers crossed for this year's Worldwide. Could be a full Broly theme, DBS and DBZ, kind of what they did with the cooler films from this year's Worldwide, or sorry, last year's Worldwide. Let me know in the comments, would you want to see that? But as I said, do let me know your thoughts as well. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in the next video, guys. And peace.